What, mortal? What is it now? I must hunt soon. If I have wings, why am I always walking? Yes? For the last time, I'm a Dreadlord, not a drug lord. This is not a dress. It's the standard Dreadlord uniform. Dress to kill. Blah! Yes? Darkness. Hey, what's up? The demon hunter left you a message? No, I don't have his number. That was my plan. Greetings. Very well, very well. I must hunt soon. What is it now? What, mortal? You thought of that? That was my plan. Agreed. Very well. You thought of that? That was my plan. Agreed. You thought of that? I hunger. Death rages. Agreed. That was my plan. I hunger. Very well. Agreed. That was my plan. Death rages. Very well. You thought of that? I hunger. Death rages. That was my plan. Agreed. Very well. You thought of that? Very well. I must hunt soon. Agreed. Greetings. What, mortal? Thought of that? Die. That was my plan. Death rages. That was my plan. Agreed. I hunger. You thought of that? Very well. Very well. That was my plan. Agreed. You thought of that? What is it now? That was my plan. Greetings. What, mortal? I must hunt soon. What is it now? Very well. You thought of that? What, mortal? I must hunt soon. Agreed. Agreed. You thought of that? Die. That was my plan. Very well. You thought of that? Die. That was my plan. Very well. Agreed. Very well. Agreed. That was my plan. What is it now? Very well. I must hunt soon. What, mortal? Agreed. You thought of that? Greetings. What is it now? I must hunt soon. Greetings. What, mortal? What is it now? What, mortal? Why am I always walking? Greetings. Richass. I hunger. I hunger. Death rages. I hunger. That was my plan. Very well. Thought of that. Death rages. Agreed. That was my plan. You thought of that? That was my plan. Agreed. I must hunt soon. Very well. What is it now? What is it now? That was my plan. What, mortal? I must hunt soon. Agreed. That was my plan. Very well. You thought of that? Very well. You thought of that? That was my plan. Agreed. That was my plan. Very well. Agreed. You thought of that? Very well. Agreed. That was my plan. You thought of that? You thought of that? That was my plan. Agreed. Very well. That was my plan. Very well. You thought of that? You thought of that? Very well. That was my plan. Agreed. Agreed. That was my plan. You thought of that? Very well. That was my plan. Very well. You thought of that? You thought of that? That was my plan. Agreed. Very well. You thought of that? Agreed. Very well. That was my plan. You thought of that? That was my plan. The night beckons. What is it now? What, mortal? What, mortal? I must hunt soon. Greetings. Hero. That was What is it now? What is it now? Agreed. What, mortal? Very well. What, mortal? Greetings. What is it now? Agreed. You thought of that. Very well. That was my plan. Thought of that? I hunger. Die. Death rages. That was my plan. Agreed. You thought of that? Die. I hunger. I hunger. Die. Death rages. Death rages. I hunger. Die. Die. I hunger. Death rages. Agreed. That was my plan. What is it now? Greetings. What, mortal? I must have soon. Greetings. What is it now? Very well. What, mortal? I must have soon. I hunger. I hunger. Die. Die. That was my plan. I must hunt soon. What is it now? What is it now? Greetings. I must hunt soon. What, mortal? Greetings. That was my plan. What, mortal? What is it now? I must hunt soon. That, agreed. I must hunt soon. What, mortal? What is it now? Greetings. All gold. What is it now? I must hunt soon. What, mortal? You thought of that? Very well. What is it now? I must hunt soon. Greetings. ashes. The night beckons. What, mortal? Agreed. I must hunt soon. That was my plan. Greetings. What is it now? Greetings.
More gold is required. More gold is required.
What is it now? What, mortal?
More gold.
What is it now? I must hunt soon. Greetings. What, mortal? What, mortal? Greetings. That was my plan. What, mortal? I must hunt soon. What is it now? What, mortal? What is it now? What, mortal? I must hunt soon. That was my plan. What, mortal? What is it now? Very well. You thought of that. I must hunt soon. Very well. That was my plan. Agreed. Greetings. You thought of that? Very well. That was my plan. You thought of that? Agreed. soon. That was my plan. What is it now? I must hunt soon. What, mortal? Greetings. You thought of that?
More lumber is required.
Agreed. You thought of that?
More gold is required. More gold is required. More gold is required.
I must hunt soon. What is it now? That was my plan. What, mortal? Very well. Agreed. You thought of that? Greetings. That was my plan. What, mortal? You thought of that? What is it now? I must hunt soon. Very well. Greetings. Agreed. What, mortal? That was my plan. I must hunt soon. Very well. What is it now? Greetings. What is it now? You thought of that? I must hunt soon. What? Greetings. I must hunt soon. Very well. That was my plan. You thought of that? Agreed. You thought of that? That was my plan. What? What is it now? Agreed. Must hunt soon. You thought of that? What is it now? Agreed. You thought of that? Agreed. What is it now? Very well. What? Thought of that? That was my plan. Agreed. Very well. I must hunt soon. What, mortal? That was my plan. Agreed. You thought of that? What is it now? I must hunt soon. Very well. Greetings. What is it now? What, mortal? That was my plan. Very well. That was my plan. Soon. What is it now? What? Greetings. What is it now? Agreed. You thought of that? That was my plan. Very well. You thought of that? Very well. I must hunt soon. That was my plan. What is it now? Agreed. You thought of that? Agreed. I must hunt soon. Very well. That was my plan. That was my plan. That was my plan.